Suprabhatam friends, welcome to my channel Plants and Me. This is Dr. Sridevi from Mangaluru, Karnataka, India. Today I am going to repot this plant. It's a beautiful foliage plant. I am going to repot this plant. It's a beautiful foliage plant called as Anthurium faustomirandae. That's how you spell it. Look at the leaves. They are beautiful, heart shaped, and this plant grows quite tall. So anthuriums basically are epiphytes, and they need a potting mix which is suitable for an epiphyte. That is, the potting mix which consists of cocoa peat, cocoa chips, then I use pumice powder, perlite, etc. So we will get going with the repotting of Anthurium faustomirandae. The potting mix which I am going to take will be revolving more around this coconut chunks. These are old coconut husk which has been cut into chunks. This is just thermocol. I am just adding it because it is there with me and it provides good aeration and fast drainage. This is pine bark. This is pumice stone powder, charcoal, vermicompost, leca. At the base I have put coconut chunks to obliterate the two holes which were there, and this layer of coconut chunks will also absorb the excessive water. Then, to give all these a binding, I am using soil also. These pine barks are too big, so I am going to cut it into thin slices like this. This is too big, thick. I am going to cut them into slices. So this is how the chunks will look like after being cut into slices. I am adding a handful, 2 handful of pumice powder. If needed, I will add again. Then, now I am adding charcoal. If it's small piece of charcoal, then it's much better. Even big pieces will also do. Now, I will be adding vermicompost. I'll mix all this. Along with the pumice stone, this will give a, this is thermocol, this will give a very good drainage. The potting mix will be fast draining. Because of the soil, it will retain a little bit of moisture also. Coconut chunks are there. These coconut chunks are there. That will also retain moisture. Water will not get clogged. I am adding leca. Then about 1 teaspoon of antifungal. It's now rainy season also, so there is a danger of root rot, the roots developing fungus. Now because it is a foliage plant, I will add Epsom salt also. This is a 6-inch pot. So for that 5 grams of Epsom salt is enough. We can give a foliar spray of Epsom salt also. Now this is done. I am going to fill this in this pot. Now I will separate the plant or take out the plant from the grow bag in which it came. Let us see how the plant is in this grow bag. Good, it has been wrapped in a newspaper. I'll open it up. It has come in cocoa peat. The roots are in cocoa peat. I am not going to use this cocoa peat. I removed all the cocoa peat from the roots. I'll be now placing this in the pot. Before placing the plant, I am placing a few pebbles and leca and also a few pine bark chips. So that's about it. Now I am placing the plant in the center, and I would be filling the remaining place with the potting mix. So I have filled the pot with the potting mix, remaining potting mix. I'll give this plant a stacking because this is leaning forward. I will give it a stacking. I have given a stacking to this plant. Now I would be finishing the repotting by placing this sphagnum moss around the crown of the stem. This is the crown here. This has come well above this pot level. I am placing this sphagnum moss around the stem as the topmost layer. It is a covering layer. I'll be watering this plant right now, and we will discuss about the other requirements of the plant. Anthurium faustomirandae is, or faustomirandae, is an exotic plant. It is an epiphyte. So that is why I have given it that epiphytic type of potting mix. It grows in partial shade to full shade. It cannot tolerate full sunlight. So it has to be kept in a place where it gets bright, very very bright indirect light, that is reflected light. If it is kept in direct sun, then the leaves will burn, it will not survive. That is about the sunlight requirement. Watering. It requires consistently moist soil. That means we should not allow the potting mix to go dry. It means we have to water it every 2 to 3 days. We can check the potting mix by poking our finger into the potting mix, and if we feel that the mix is going to dry, if I won't water it today, then today is the right time to water it. It loves moisture. It's an epiphyte, so it will be growing on the tree trunks. It takes the help of tree trunks to grow. So from the tree trunk bark, it will be taking nutrients, and in the bark there will be a consistent moisture. So obviously this also requires consistently moist soil. Apart from this, it also requires a little bit more humidity. For that sake, I have kept the sphagnum moss around the stem crown. When I water the plant, sphagnum moss also will get wet, and from the moss water will start evaporating, and that will give humidity to the plant. It loves humidity. And in fact, in rainy season these thrive a lot because there will be a lot of humidity, and the potting mix also will be kept moist all the time. So that is why that sphagnum moss is something which does the magic, because it retains the humidity around the plant. So that is about the water requirement. Next, nutrition. I have added vermicompost, so that will be enough for it for about 3 to 4 months. Later on, when the vermicompost gets used up, the level of that potting mix will drop, it will sink. So I will replenish the vermicompost again. Apart from this, we can also give 5 grams, because it's a 6-inch pot, we can also give it 5 grams of Epsom salt in the potting mix. That is about every 15 days we can give that. If we do not want to add it into the potting mix, we can also give it a foliar spray. For 1 liter of water, about 5 grams, that is 1 teaspoon of Epsom salt can be mixed and it can be sprayed. This spraying can be done once in 15 days. So that is about the nutrition of the plant. These plants grow very tall. They get about 3 to 4 feet wide and 2 to 3 feet something long leaves. They are huge plants. They require lots of place also. This plant is small, so I have put it in 6-inch pot. Once it grows, it puts out lots of leaves. Then the roots also, if they start coming out of the pot, what happens? The roots will start coming out from here. So that is the time when it needs a repotting. And that time also I will use the same potting mix. So that is about repotting of Anthurium faustomirandae. So thanks for joining. Take care. Bye.